All right, what's going on today? It's a beautiful Saturday here in Las Vegas. Actually, they got a big event. They got this NBA Summer League thing going, and it's real big. It's 10 days, and they treat this thing like it's like the playoffs or something. It's basically a lot of undrafted guys. You got some guys that played overseas. One, maybe 2 year guys will come in and try to play a little bit, okay, to refine their skills. And I think that gives the coaches and other maybe general managers some time to think about if they want to keep these guys. You have other big time celebrities too, the basketball players like Curry and LeBron James. Maybe they call that guy in Milwaukee the Greek Beast. Like they'll come and sign autographs, but I think that's a way to try to promote people to come to the event. And they have that over here at the Thomas and Mack Center. And that's pretty much taken over. But I saw a couple of videos today about uh, Dwight Howard. We all know the NBA player Dwight Howard. I think he's taking a hiatus off from the NBA. He's been playing overseas. Okay, instant Hall of Famer. Whenever he retired, he's probably going to be a first ballot. All right, the way that he's conditioned and takes care of his body, he can probably play to at least he's 45. I think. Okay, at least. But anyway, this guy is getting drugged for pushing his son. All right, pretty much. Okay, well, what happened was he was on a bike, okay, or on a treadmill, and he's pushing his son to be like, hey, keep going, you could do it. His son was crying and said you couldn't do it or something like that. All right, and then he was able to get his son to push himself through it. And I think he really realized it wasn't as bad as he thought. Dwight Howard was all like, good job and so forth. Okay. And because of that, again, the guy got a lot of backlash. Okay. I just think that, well, let me say this. There's probably certain things that you probably shouldn't put online. I'm just thinking, I don't know, with the type of culture, everything is so, you got to be so doggone politically correct, or everybody's so sensitive about everything. So I think that you probably want to be a little bit more mindful about what you put online. Okay. For example, I don't want to keep bringing this up like what's that girl? Kiki Palmer. And I think the husband or the fiance put, I guess shamed her online. I guess it was on social media. I just think there are probably certain things that lead to, I don't know, trolling or any type of controversy that may want to be kind of like omitted or just left out. Certain things probably need to be handled in house. Now I'm gonna leave it at that. But on the same token, I think that that's what kids need. We all at one time have to get the swift kick in the behind, or you know what I'm saying, to get that little push to bring the best out of us as children, and even now. Okay, be it if somebody have to to tell you about yourself, or learning is one of the things. It's not easy, but it does in the end of the day make you a better person. And even if you don't maybe comply, it's something that you could at least table it and keep it in consideration, and it could be something that you could be useful later. For example, like my dad, I thought that dude was crazy when he would tell me certain things about life, or maybe when I was in the military, or when I was trying to play ball and things like that. Okay, telling me things about me. And I think as I got older, probably about 30, and I started gaining a lot of his mannerisms and so forth, a lot of the stuff really makes sense. Okay, the same thing with the real world. Okay, like maybe when I was younger, or when I was doing podcasts, I maybe didn't understand certain things about I don't know, the podcasting world and conscious stuff, but some of it makes sense now. Okay, although I know that I'm setting my ways. Now there's times where, for an example, I had to push my children, my oldest son. Okay, when he was doing his boxing, when we would uh, go boxing over there. If y'all familiar with the camp down there in Chinatown, where Mayweather and those guys go show up, or whatever, back in the day. Okay, or one time that to a point to where he threw like a glove at me. Okay, but that was just something, again, not to punish, not to try to punish him. Okay, but to try to bring something out that maybe I see in him that he didn't see for himself. Okay, even I have three children. There was times where I had to, I took my two younger children to the park, and like there are have the ability to do certain things, but things that they did not have the ability to do, or they thought they didn't, then I will push them to do that. And I can remember my daughter and my son crying, I couldn't do this or whatever. I'm thinking, yes, you can. You know, I pretty much had to push my daughter to do half the obstacles over there on the course. Okay. And my son said the same thing, crying. I remember he was 5 years old. He couldn't tie his shoe. I said, yeah, you can do it. Okay. And you will do it. But then again, it's what you need, because I think, as fathers, all right, a lot of us got a bad name painted on us anyway, particularly like so-called black fathers. And if you don't say it, then it'll be one of the things where nobody didn't tell you. Okay. So I think that's, critically important that, you do have the dads or whatever to try to give positive encouragement, but you want to do it in a way in which you don't want to tear your children down. Okay. It's one of the things you have to be more careful about, because it's a different generation. Okay. Than how it was when, maybe the older generations, or like say if you're middle aged or whatever, how you came up. Okay, so you really have to be careful about that. You want to, you don't want to do any way to try to tear your children down. Okay, uh, so it's all a life experience, even for the parent. Okay, I still, as a parent, have things I have to learn. Okay, as I get my other two children, my daughter's going to be on her own in a couple of years, and then I'll just have my son. He'll be uh, 14 actually here in a couple of weeks, week and a half or so, something like that. Okay, so I think I still have a few things I need to learn, but I think that I'm very very good at that, at my parenting or whatever. Okay, and that's it. All right, I commend in the end of the day what Dwight Howard is doing. Okay, so that's what they need. What they say, I think in Corinthians 2:20. Okay, about the fathers being very important in their children's lives. All right, but then again, you don't provoke your children at the same time. I think that's the saying in Proverbs. Okay, honor the father, but you don't provoke the children. So you check out those scriptures on your own if you are a Bible toter. And thank you for your time. All right, I don't want to go on and on about it. Okay, so hopefully that gives other fathers the encouragement to kind of light a fire, but show love at the same time, to bring your children out, be for them to be the best that they can be. All right, peace.